Hey guys, Red Rangers One here. It just came to my attention that the True Blue Mini hack sticker is actually a pretty good device and all that, which is fine and dandy. But now I do understand you guys had to do something different for PlayStation or Nintendo or whatever. That's fine and dandy. But can I'm not saying Nintendo to do this, but can Nintendo come out with something like this for the NES and for the Super NES just in case? Let's say if you guys want to play, mostly my favorite is Power Rangers. It's not really on there, but I've already done that. Pretty much hacked the sucker, but is there any other way to actually have a True Blue Mini for Super Nintendo or the NES Classic? I do understand it's limited to 21 games for Super Nintendo and the NES for 30 games, which is fine. And I don't understand why can't they come out with something like this for these two little mini consoles for the NES Classic and for the Super NES Classic. I'm not saying it'll work, but you know just saying for Nintendo fans like myself, I mean, please, I played Nintendo for a long, long time, and believe me, before PlayStation came into existence, back then. So, is there any way for these two to actually get the True Blue Mini? Some kind of stick for it. It doesn't have to be the same stick, but it could be something else or whatever. Just saying for Nintendo to actually have an idea to say, okay, how about if we have 101 games on it or whatever, stuff like that. Games from just say another region like Japan or something like that. Like you should actually have Jetman, Power Rangers 2, which is the Super Sentai series, and 16 season is the Go Ranger. You guys should actually do something like that with this, and also for Super Nintendo fans like myself. I mean, I've been a Nintendo guy. And also one more that I would like to know. Now I do understand that this comes with 30 games, which is fine and dandy. But here is the product. Here's the thing, though. Now, is there any way to actually have a little miniature Rob figure to actually play with you, like it did in the past? I've always loved going back to the past, and thank you, James Rolfe, for getting me back into retro gaming consoles. I just wanted to actually make this. It's not gonna be a quick video tonight, but I just wanted to actually to say, because see, these ports, we can actually have little things like this, and that True Blue Mini thing could be for Nintendo collectors, like myself, like. You say like you don't have Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Like I said again, Power Rangers for Super Nintendo. If people don't have it on the Classic, just to hack it, I mean, hacking it is fine, but the problem is that I'm saying is that you guys should actually have a hack thing like this. I mean, don't steal from Sony, but I mean, not for nothing. I mean, Sony is starting to drive me nuts with this True Blue Mini hack system stick here, which I don't really mind it, but the one that I have is okay. This one's okay, but I'd rather see every last game on this memory stick. I mean, yeah, it's good that you have two different ones, but you'll get confused. Okay, this one's the Crackhead Pack one. So I gotta get the meth pack one. Will be probably next, or the you know, I gotta get the meth pack, and also the game that has 58 fighting pack, something like this. Now I wish that Nintendo, hopefully you're listening, to actually do something like this for. I'm not gonna say it's not fitting here, but actually it does. I'm not saying it does completely, but I'm just just showing you. Just maybe we could actually play some older games from the Super Nintendo era and plus the NES era. So, like the heck do you call it? Like I said, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. A lot of things you can do with this thing. Then I'm not saying for Nintendo to steal it, the idea of it, but if you guys want to, then be my guest, because this thing makes it a little bit more easier for us to play NES games. Just say, I don't know if it will, but if you guys do come up with an idea of this True Blue mini hack stick thing, it's only for PlayStation, but have it for the NES here, Okay, it comes with 30 games. This one comes with 21. But just saying, there's so many other good games on these systems, and also for for both these systems. Actually, they should actually have all the everything that came with it back in the past, like the power pad and the light gun, which is the zapper. I know that they should have called it the gun, but unfortunately they didn't. So they called the Nintendo Zapper for us to play Dunk Hunt. So I think there should be a way for us to play Dunk Hunt on this. So what is going on here? Which I don't know why. I'm not saying this is gonna fit right here, but if it does, it does. I'm not saying I'm gonna play it on here, but almost fits. Sure it does. Surprised. No, I'm just testing something out, but I'm not gonna say I'm gonna play it like that. But let's see. But yeah, so I do understand, but the controllers, which is fine, but have now, understandably, there is one little problem that I see, that when you play your hack stick in this little gaming console here, which is fine and dandy, but the problem is you can't play all three. Why not? I mean, you should be playing all three, not just one or two or three or four. I mean, there's actually 4 ports here, so I do understand that you can actually have the second controller port, which is fine. But another problem, if you want to play a 2-player game on here, you can, but you had to switch out the stick, which is a pain. So, from what I, from what I understand, because I tried putting this in my old memory stick that I hacked with the PlayStation Classic, because I wanted these games on it, and Spider-Man 2000, Spider-Man Enter, Electro on it, plus Power Rangers, Lightspeed Rescue, and Time Force, and whatever other games that I want on there. So that's the only problem. But I'm not saying it is on the mem pack or not, but I do understand when you get those kind of games that's fun and dandy on the mem pack. I'm not saying it's on there or not, but what I think Nintendo and I'm gonna say for Sega Genesis too, do something like this, because if we don't have Power Rangers the movie, the game for Sega Genesis, I mean, younger kids are missing out on like who were the first Power Rangers, and also there was a fighting game at Power Rangers for Sega Genesis at the time also, and I'm hoping for those games to be on there, and also VR Troopers to be on there also. So Sega, if you guys can put those games on like a little memory stick, before it comes out September 19th, that's fine. Hopefully you guys will understand what I'm trying to say here is put some other I would say a few more games on here. I know it's 50 games plus the other reason. I'm not saying it's the other reason, but I do know it's all 50 games for the Sega Genesis Mini, which is fine. But what I want to see is actually have a little stick like this. I mean, I don't care if you rip off Sony or whatever. I don't really care. And also, that's another thing that I want to say is to what the hell was it? Another mini console's coming out by next year. Oh right, the TurboGrafx 16. So when that comes out, also have all the games on that, which is fine. But also put the ones that we have not tried for years ago. I mean, I do understand somebody played Darkwing Duck on a TurboGrafx 16, which I never played in my life. So I definitely want to try that, and I want to see it on one of these memory sticks, which will be good for a TurboGrafx 16. Or if you guys can put it inside that system, that'll be very, very helpful for us who never played the TurboGrafx 16 back in the past, And yeah, so I'm just making this video because I played this thing, and it's actually pretty sweet. But the thing is, when you hack your system with the PlayStation Classic, like something like this, you cannot play your Blink Scene games, which is kind of dumb. But that's understandable. I can see that. But I wish I could just play my Blink Scene games on with the True Blue Mini. So, Nintendo, TurboGrafx 16. I know that they'll be coming out with it by next year. I know what the price is going to be. So, other than that, son of a mother. No, excuse me for a minute, guys. I'm sorry. Let me just take a look. Oh yeah, and also I got a brand new phone. What the heck? All right. Okay, so that's really none. Okay. Let's check my messages. Okay. All right. Let me just see. I'm sorry about this, guys. What the heck? Oh shit. Alright, well, never mind that, guys. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so oh yeah, and I'll just show you a picture of my dog on my phone here. This while I'm doing this video. Yeah, I know you guys can't really see it as much, but that's my dog right there. Her name's Kimberlina. Yeah, she's a little brat, but she's okay. Sorry about that. There you go. No, it's the lighting right now, but you guys can actually see that. So, yeah. So, other than that, yeah, that's my dog. Yeah, as far as I can tell, hopefully somebody was actually listening I'm sorry about that, guys. But the TurboGrafx 16 should have Darkwing Duck on there because I never played that game. I mean, yes, I've heard it was bad, but I want to play it anyway. You know, put it on these memory sticks or something for the TurboGrafx 16 also. You know, not only for PlayStation, you can put it on for Super Nintendo, and plus the NES Classic. And I wish they would actually have all the old Nintendo stuff that came with it. You know, with this, with the with the system back in the past, like the Nintendo Zapper. You know, have something for us to actually go back to the past and actually have an HD gun, so that way we can actually shoot Duck Hunt or whatever, you know, Wild Gunman or whatever the heck. It's only 2 games that I know of, and also I know Rob the Robot would actually have only, I guess, 2 games, I think, Jaromite and Stag Up. Have a little miniature Rob the Robot would actually be good with this. You know, have an HD of him, so that way we can actually go back to the past. You know, I always love. I never had a Rob the Robot, so that's why I'm making this video too. I've always wanted the real deal, and now I can understand that they just built in 30 games or 21 games and 20 games into all these systems, and plus whatever how many games 50 games for TurboGrafx 16. So I do understand that, but have something like this with all these systems, because if some of the games are not on there, I mean not on the system, you can actually get something like this. So, you know, is there any way possible to do that? Because just say, okay, because I just the heck is it? This one is actually brand new because my old one died out or something because I was trying to hack it. But thanks to my friend, he's going to show me how to do that. So hopefully I can actually do that probably soon. I'm not saying yes or no. But yeah, so anyway, guys, please like this. Okay, please like this video, and I'll talk to you guys soon. And Nintendo and TurboGrafx 16 have a stick like this, so that way we don't have to really worry about hacking our systems. Okay? Alright. Red Ranger 1 out. Sign up. It's Morphin time. Tyrannosaurus.